you doing? Welcome to Be on Roundtable podcast, and I will be your host. My name is Abella Dohanti, and today I'm holding two Ailid Leruminai from different sides, and I would like them to introduce themselves to you.
Hello, my names are Raissa, Teta, and I'm a former facilitator from the School of École Secondaire Stella Matutina, and I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Hello there, thank you for having me here today. I'm Topazi Honore, Itangirubuntu. I studied at Wisdom High School and I'm doing my bachelor's degree in management and finance in University of Kigali.
Thank you all for coming today. I know you hold very much memories from my lead. So, what was the first, your first love or the first thing that caught you back on the iLead program?
Thank you. The first time iLead program was introduced in our school, I thought it was a very nice thing because I myself was I was the class monitress, and I thought it was going to help me through the things that were going on because it's not easy. It's a very hard thing to do, and all the responsibilities are on your head. And in all that, you also have to remember that you also have to take care of yourself regardless of all the responsibilities you have. So changing my attitude towards the responsibilities that I've been given and knowing my self-worth and all that was really nice because I learned all that from iLead, and I feel like everyone should have the opportunity in their life to be introduced to it.
And that's nice. So what was your expectations and perceptions on the iLead program?
Yeah, so the first time a lead came at our school, I was in senior 3 and I was really at my lowest point of life because my choice making and decision making was very low and I was not satisfied by the person I was by then. So when I lead came in at our school, it was really a nice program according to how they explained it to us, and indeed it became a nice program because the way I am today, the way I built my life, the way I'm chasing my goals, the way I'm looking forward to the future, it's all because of I lead. Because if it wasn't there, and I get to meet new friends, I get to know how I can conduct myself in the society, I couldn't be a better person like the way I am today.
I choose to iLead program. So what did you love more about the peer-to-peer conversations that they many in the roundtables?
Yeah, so the first thing I loved about peer-to-peer roundtables was that we got the chance to make new friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we could be in a class, we study math, chemistry, biology, the teacher comes in and he goes out, and you go in break, you just mind your own business.
Yeah.
But when iLead came in, was like an opportunity to talk to your friends, then it was an opportunity to know how to work with others. And most of all, when you are the roundtable facilitator, you used to get to know the leadership roles that you have to conduct as a leader, and that gave us a sense of leadership into us, and I think it shaped us for better people for coming days.
I know, like you would always have this when you finish the book, you will be like, I'm going to influence people, I'm going to do something. Yeah, you all know. So what was the best memory like you remember during the roundtable, like the first thing you remember for the roundtable?
First of all, the very first memory that I remember is when it was introduced to our school. They took us to the main hall and they're explaining what it was. And I think the thing that made me the happiest is the fact that I was going to be learning without actually doing exams.
That's
I
fine.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. The fact that I was actually going to be studying something and I did not need to do an exam. Yeah, it really made me happy. And also the fact that through Roundtables we got to, understand our friends better and learn things from their childhoods and stories that they hadn't shared with us before.
I know, like that's good, that's amazing. So for me, the best thing I remember from the round table, like we used to gather around. The whole class, it wasn't even for like four group. No, the whole class we would make a round table. Then we discuss, like you would tell you everyone would tell everything. So what was the best memory like you would always hold for the round tables?
So the best memory I think I will hold all the times is the first time when Lead was introduced to our school, and then we got the first book, the I choose the I choose book. So it was a small book, and we were supposed to do it for a term. So when we started passing through, when we started discussing in the roundtables, we found that thing very interesting. So that everyone in class, the time for a lead could reach, and everyone is like, "Do you remember today we have a lead?" And then the facilitators will be like, "Today it's about to go down." And then when we finished the first book, you could find people curious to know what's going on, what's ahead of this.
Yeah.
Like if we finish this first book, we have known how to make our own choices, how to grow. We have learned about attitude and commitment. Then what's next? So that thing could make us very happy and get to know others better and better. Not the way class could do it.
Yeah. Also, when they brought the books of I chose, like you were going through everything. Like you never knew the meaning of some words like influence, like like self discipline. Like you always wanted to know the true meaning of everything and how they would define it. That was amazing.
Yeah.
So coming to blend this, like what is the definition of readership from your side, starting from Redis first?
Thank you. From my perspective, I would define leadership as not a title, not a seat or a position, rather the influence that you have people, the influence you have on people for them to change something in the society and become a better community, better people, and better individuals on ourselves.
Okay, thank you. Me, I can define leadership as the ability to exercise the authority and responsibility. So you get the ability to make decisions. You get the ability to exercise power and come up with a clear direction where you want your followers to reach in a certain period of time.
Okay. So that we are going to make a simple like it's kind of a debate you get.
Yes.
Like we are going to defend maybe readership as an influence or like a title. Like which sides are you taking? Read is first.
I am taking the side where leadership is influence.
Influence and
Okay. Me, I'm taking leadership as
As-
position.
yeah, as a title.
Yeah, as a title.
So that's a hard one for I think for Honore. That but let's go through it. Like why did you defend that side?
After being introduced to the elite program, I read the books and I got curious. I was like, who wrote this? Like, so I wanted to learn more about the author of the book, which led me to searching up John C. Maxwell.
Yes.
After I searched him up, I read through some of the quotes that he did,
Yeah.
and I came across this one quote that was written that said, "Leadership is influence, nothing less and nothing more." And it got me.
Nice one.
It got me thinking deeply and more about it, and it makes sense. Influence is about having people obey you, having people respect you, having people trust you.
Yes.
And if you're claiming that leadership is a position, that will mean that if influence is much more powerful, because if I influenced people and they trusted me, they obeyed me, what I said, they understood and they respected what I said, and you were a leader, let's say you were a leader and I was not, and I influenced people, that would mean I would influence them and they would maybe remove you from the position of leadership because they do not obey you. Leadership is not about having people forcefully obeying what you want them to do. It's about having them respect you, trust you, and having them being changing their lives and the community because of the examples that you're setting.
Okay.
And if you continues claiming that it's a position, that would mean people in the community who do not have any position have no rights to influence and change the community for the better.
Yes. Are you still on your side?
Yes, I'm still on my side because I take influence as the ingredient to the recipe. Like the recipe has to be the position.
Yes.
When you influence, when you have the ability to influence, then it will make you better. It will make you the best fit for the position, because there are decisions that you can't do when you don't have the position. For instance, let's take this case study in a local community where I just come and influence the whole society, the whole community. I tell them, hey people, let's gather together. We want to build a road. So building a road, it's a nice activity.
Yes.
It's a really an impactful activity because it will help the society. But then if I influence you, but you don't have the position, I won't build that road, because the government knows what the place is meant for. So that means influence will just be there. But when I'm in position, I'm accountable. I'm responsible for the choices, for the words I say, for the actions that I take to my to the people I lead.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and another thing is like, while talking about influence, you've talked about the most people who have impacted the world through influence. But I really like reading books, and I came across this story of Nelson Mandela, where they say that Nelson Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years. And then you know he was a member of African National Congress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then because of the influence he had, people shouted, people protested that free Nelson Mandela because he was in jail.
Yeah.
But guess what? Only the words they said, only the influence he had couldn't get him out of jail.
And
But the power of the president was the one which got him out of jail. So me, I still defend that the leadership is all about the title, and then influence is the ingredient to cook for the title.
Okay.
and this
also
is
like-
getting serious. This is
I would like
getting
to add something.
serious.
So you gave us a really nice case study about the community, and they were trying to build a road.
Yeah.
And you said that if yes, I was influencing people and I told them let's build a road, but I'm not in a position to build the road. Now I'm asking you my question. If you are a leader, and you decide, okay, I have the position, now I want to build a road, but you do not have any influence towards the people that you're helping. You know that when you're going to build roads, most of the money comes from the citizens. If the citizens do not obey you, do not trust you, then they're not going to be contributing to making this road, and your position will be useless. Because yes, you do have authority, but authority without influence is useless. But if you have influence, it gives you authority, and you're going to be able to reach what the dream that you have. Because if I influence these people and I'm like, okay, let's build the road, then because we're all agreeing on it, the whole community is like, yes, a road is really needed, then that means that we're going to be we will our offer will be taken to the government or the people that are in position, and they're going to consider it, and then we might actually build a road. But if you're a leader and you decide we need a road, but you do not influence the people to actually see that they also need the road, and they do not obey you, then it will be useless. You have authority, but it will be useless if you do not have any influence on the community.
Okay, so
Yes.
to make it easier, like if I've heard you well, let's not complicate social responsibility and leadership.
Yeah.
Me as a citizen, it's my responsibility to pay taxes. It's my responsibility. If I gain taxes on what I do, I have to pay a certain percentage so that the country cares about the infrastructures. So that means as a leader, you will be in position to access those funds you got from taxes, and then that's where you will get to make the budget for the country, for the new things which are needed. So you won't a leader won't necessarily go to the community and say, you contribute money and we'll build roads.
Yes.
It will first pass through stages. He will go into the Rwanda Revenue Authority. They have systems which are built where they will have to get funds, and then they budget for those funds, and then they have to build roads. But me, as a person, I won't come use my influence and tell you contribute funds and we build roads. It will even put me in danger.
Yeah. So for me, I'm holding myself because you guys are blowing my mind. Your ideas are very strong and very, please. So let's go for this. If leadership is purely influence, how do you account for the situation where real change requires from authority or decision making?
Thank you. Like I've already said, influence gives you authority. But if you have authority and there's no influence, then your authority is useless. So leadership is not just, it's not seeing the signed paper that approves that you're going to make a road. No, it has steps, it has levels that it takes, like cooking. You go and you buy groceries and you bring them to the table. That does not account as cooking. You just bought what to use as cooking. It has steps. You have to peel them, you have to wash them, you have to cook them, and then the final stage of serving them. So you giving me the papers that have already been signed and saying that you're going to build a road is like plating the food, but like it's not the whole process of cooking. You bringing me the food is not the whole process. So leadership begins in the it's not about the final stage of signing. It's about the shaping. You shape the decisions, you shape the things that are going to be leading to this final outcome that we're going to be seeing. So leadership is it starts from influence. You influence people, it gives you authority, and you'd be a likely candidate for being a leader. Because if we're going to be choosing a leader in a community, are you going to just speak about anyone? No, you pick the person that has more influence on people, someone that you see would actually bring real change to the table. Someone who is going to be able to move people to a more reliable change, someone who's going to have an actual change in the community and make them a better community and help them with things. So it's leadership is all about influence, because if you had the authority, yes, to do something, but there was no influence, it would be useless. But from influence, you build authority. People actually trust you and they believe you, and they would even give you that title of leadership. And yeah, I think influence is really.
So I had the question to what you said. You said that like in the society, when they are going to vote for a leader, they have to go for that person who is the most influential, influential person. So if you think influence is enough, why do they have to vote for why do they still have to vote and appoint that person into a certain title? If influence is enough, I think they could have just left that person lead, because his influence is enough.
That would have been enough if our government did not require that to have a demonstration. Because if it was all about like letting us, everyone who just decides that I'm going to be leading is like enough, then it would have been chaotic and it would have been a lot of chaos. So what is actually happening is the person who has the most influence. Influence gives you authority. I really hope you understand that.
Yeah, I
influence
understand.
gives you
I
authority.
really understand.
Okay? So like the reason why this person is picked is because it's not like they pick him because he's the one who shows most influence. It doesn't mean like all the other people who are also in the community who are showing influence do not also impact in the leadership. It just means he was the one who was most fit for the position, and I've decided to give it to him so that there is a form of administration, there's a form of organization in this. But just because you're not given a position does not mean you do not have responsibility to also help change the community. If you're claiming that leadership leadership is all about a position, that would be saying like the local people who are like in the community without any position then do not have the responsibility to actually contribute in the change of the community.
Then I think the reason why the government demonstrates their positions is because they know influence can not only do it without the titles, without the authority. Because imagine if we had a country, but only the influencers lead. So how do you think that country will be? It will be, of course, in chaos. You can't know which is which and what is what. So I think the reason why they put positions, it's because they know influence enough can't do anything.
Yeah. So you're still standing on your side?
Yes, I do.
So if leadership is all about the title, are there no people who are still influencing without even a title, but they are doing it well?
Okay, I get what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You are trying to bring about people who try to bring change in the society and they
Yes.
didn't have titles. And I agree with that, but I can say that leadership starts from influence. Of course, I agree with that, but then
Yes.
we need the position.
Yes.
First, you're trying to bring up the Nelson Mandela, the Martin Luther King.
Yeah, I know.
But I've tried to, as I said, I like really reading interesting stories about these heroes. But when you try to go deep into their stories, you find that influence couldn't help them overcome the tough situations they were in.
Yeah,
I started from Nelson Mandela, as I've told you that in order for him to get released from the prison, there needed the president was needed for him to get out of jail, for him to say, I'm freeing you because this and this and this and this. So that means that position is still ahead of influence, because if it was only influence, people could have protested many times. But then he couldn't get out from the prison cell he was in. But because the people with authority came in, then Nelson Mandela had to get out of the prison. And also, it's an understandable thing. Let me ask you for example, if you're in a hospital, and then there is this nurse. She has been really a good person. She worked in the hospital for more than 20 years. When she speaks, everyone listens, and everyone says this nurse is really a good person because she can help us do stuff and stuff. Yeah? But then there is also another chief surgeon in position. So this person has the ability to make the decision.
Yes.
And then in this hospital, there is a life-death situation which needs an emergency. For example, let's say it's an operation.
Yeah.
So you coming to the nurse and say that this person is sick, please help us get the room. The nurse can't certify it.
Yes.
Can't say that because this person is dying, let's get him a room.
Yes.
But that person in position will be accountable and responsible for that situation which is taking place. That comes up with something like influence. Influence doesn't have any accountability or responsibility. It just but the position will hold you responsible and accountable for what you do.
I know.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, that's
About the Nelson Mandela thing. You say that he was in prison for 27 years,
Yes.
and like because he was a very influential person and was influencing people, they protested, and then the president had their pleas and they released him.
Yes.
Now, do you think that if he was not an influential person and he was influencing people all over the country, do you think he would have been released from prison? He wouldn't have, because the president would have never heard of him. So the fact that he was an influential person and was influencing people made him get released. he made his voice be heard by the president, and he released him. But like, if the president, yes, the president was there, he had the position, but if there was no influence that was having on people and people protesting, then he would have been released from prison, because he would have been another person in prison. No one would have been like, he's a really important person, release him. Also, the scenario you just told us in the hospital, you say the nurse is a very influential person, people respect her, obey her, and when she talks, like, people listen to her. And there is another surgeon, and he's in position, he's the head surgeon, and someone is about to die in a death or life situation. If Because the surgeon has authority, and he's like, oh, let's just leave him. And then the nurse is like, this person is about to die, let's get him a room. The influence that she's going to have, because people listen to her when she speaks, in that situation where there's like chaos, where there's like pressure to do something about this life or this situation, people are going to be listening to her more because she has more influence. Okay, at that point, people are actually going to forget that she has no position, and they're going to be listening to her, and this person will get a room. But like, the surgeon is just like, people are going to, if the only thing you have is position and you do not influence people, they're going to be scared of you. And it's like, you're going to be having this position. It's like, yes, you have the title, yes, you have the badge, but you're really not going to make any impact in society, because people do not listen to you. People don't obey what you say.
Yeah. So, but do you think if the surgeon, according to the set of rules and guidelines he has, if maybe he analyzed the situation and come up with a decision, do you think the nurse is not going to follow that decision?
If it aligns with her morals, then she would. But if this guy decided that the person does not need any help, then she would see that it's not right, and influence people, and people would actually listen to her, and they would do contrary to what the surgeon needs, if it's not aligning with the morals.
Yeah, no. Well, this is getting serious. Like, we should have the next part for this, because this is a big, 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 big something to do on. But actually, to conclude on this, I think like leadership is all about an influence. Like, you would go for as you have a title, but influence should be the best, either the key point of what you're doing. Because like, actually remember the class monitors, that you would be that kind person, that person who is always active in class, always attending everything. That's when you will get the badge.
Yeah.
That's when you'll be a class monitor, so maybe a class monitor. So for a good leader, like influence, that's your biggest part. So to cover all this up, like, what were the three top values that you got from my lead that holds, that now they are your strongholds in your life?
Okay, thank you for that nice question. As I said, Eyelid came in my life as the game changer, because I really got the ability to take control of my life through the values we used to learn from Eyelid. So, first and foremost, the first value that caught my mind and like directly shaped my life was choices.
Yes.
And it's the first lesson we had to cover in the first book.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and that is the one which grabbed my attention towards this book, and I said, however much it takes, I'm going to end this book and see.
Yes.
Yeah. So from that, I learned that you might not be born from a rich family. You might not be born. You might not have a good background, because we don't choose where we are born from.
Yeah.
But then, as you get older, the gift of making choices also grows older.
Yes.
Like grows bigger. I mean, yeah. So, and after making right choices, that's when I started by saying, I have to be keeping time as a good student. I have to wake up early. I have to work on myself. I have to choose new friends. I have to change my circle. And then that shaped my perspective on life.
Oh.
And then the second one was growth.
Yeah.
So after you choose, you grow.
Yes.
Yeah, so after making right choices, then I took on with the growth path, and I said I have to be increasing 1% in my life every day. Like, if I meet the old version of me 5 years ago, I shouldn't get angry. I shouldn't get depressed. Instead, I should get impressed. So, lastly, that was attitude. Yeah, those three lessons really impacted my life. The lesson of attitude,
Yes.
yeah, told me that we have to change perspective of thing.
Yes.
Like the way you see something, it has to change. Like there's this short story from a teacher at our school. He used to tell us that when a lion sees an elephant, it sees food.
Yes.
But when an elephant sees lion, it sees danger.
Yes.
So because of the perspective, because of its attitude, so those three lessons really impacted my life, and I think they are the ones which made me a better person I am today.
And mine, the biggest one of mine was forgiveness.
Yeah.
I had if. So what from your side?
I feel like some of the very many lessons that I learned from iLead, the first one was self-worth.
Yeah.
iLead helped me understand that the price tag I put myself on,
Yes.
the standards I hold myself, is exactly what other people are going to be holding me to.
Yeah.
So if I know my self-worth, then other people are going to also respect me. And I feel like it really helped me throughout life. The second one is commitment. I learned that everybody at some point starts. We all start something, but like not all of us finish. And being committed is what will help you reach your dreams, because dreams are free. To dream is free. I could literally dream. I could have a dream that I will become a billionaire, but the journey is what is not free. The journey is costly, and what it costs you is commitment. And for you to be able to commit to something is what is going to help you reach your dreams. Something else that really helped me is also forgiveness. I really needed that in life to be able to move forward and put everything behind me. I feel like that was also really important, and avoiding postponing things. So I have a word, procrastination, and I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, and like reading I Lead helped me to avoid procrastination and doing things in its right time, and it helped me through a lot in my life and helped me become a better person.
Yeah.
Sure.
You're going to add something?
No, like that was good.
Yeah, that was good. Mine was initiatives. That's where procrastination brings on, where you would like wake up. Oh my God.
5 more minutes.
God, please, why is this happening? I would wake up at 5 and you hear, everyone wake up, everyone, God, where am I even going? Where am I even going? Please. Or you will be in class, like you have to, tomorrow you will give me this assignment. In the evening, I will do it in an hour. Let me first study. Let me first do.
In morning prep.
Yeah, I'll do it in morning prayer.
And in the morning prep, we welcome. There's no morning prep today.
Yeah.
You have a lot to do, bro.
Exactly.
And in the morning, teacher, where's the work? Please, we didn't do it. We needed something. Okay. As we all had, like you had your side and she had her side, and they are both good. They were both strong and having everything. But like as we all had, leadership is working hand in hand with an influence.
Yeah.
So influence will be the key point for leadership. So leaders should go through everything with an influence. So guys, thank you for coming today. Thank you for allowing my invitation. And guys, this is all we had for you. Stay tuned, stay live, and we love you. Bye.